I got one. I got one that Gibson custom made for me. That was like a prototype. They were going to do an actual guitar line, and it just the deal went just like the guitar didn't play that good. It was like,
really?
It's not a real Epiphone. Why bother? You know what I'm saying? All right. So anyway, on the clinic thing. There's a thing that I was doing that actually has the major minor type deal, like the string skipping you already are that shape.
Okay.
The only other shape it has in it is like a diminished type shape, which would be
Ida.
And that's a really easy movable shape. You can go like
Like that?
Yeah, I would slide sort of like a so it moves up, alternating move up low high, so it'd be like move high, then move low. So exactly,
okay.
yeah. And there was just a sequence thing. I forget where I got the actual melody from, but it's like. And all it is showing how you can kind of move the shapes together, you know what I'm saying? Like, right here you got, and then crossing in. So it's a way of like combining into, so you're going out of, then, sort of, yeah. Then, I actually get that pull off in there. Or stay in D minor. Got it? Yeah, and then switch it. So it's, yeah.
Okay.
See, it's a way of showing how to connect into other shapes. That's one of the things that was just trying to get when I was doing these things is actually connecting, you know, and actually being able to make them work into things in time. And there's just like different ways of connecting. One is by that way, jumping into the shape and sliding in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
And that was probably one of the things, I know when Paul and I were together, that was one thing we like worked on a lot, was trying to like take the shapes, not only just have one shape where you could go but actually have them connect, you know, by some way. Either usually it was by sliding or hammering. You know what I mean? Like say you were in D minor. See, and actually that's, yeah, actually do an F.
Okay. Yeah, I get the basic shapes you see.
Right.
Going in that pull off, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's actually just trying to get coordinated to where you see where you can change over into those patterns, you know. Actually, I never really carried much further than that. I mean, there's different shapes I would use.
I guess in that video, it looked like you did something. You did a lick where you started down here, like skipped and tapped or something. I don't know.
Something like where it was going into one of these type of shapes.
That might have been it. I'm not sure. It was like a lick I've never heard either of you guys do before. I was like, what the hell. You know, you know.
That was a clinic video. I can show you.
I don't have the video
right
at the moment. My buddy in Rhode Island's got it, so
I can show you. I can kind of remember some stuff that I was doing back then. Let me give you like a brief overview of some of the 2-note per string stuff. There's one other one off the live album that kind of was the forerunner of all the string skipping stuff, and it's just doing like a pinky hammer-on type thing where you bar the bottom strings, and it's getting more of. And it's, or actually for this shape it would be.
Oh.
Exactly. And that would be for like a G major type. And then you can move by just changing 2 notes. By pulling this note up one and then barring the pinky, you get the diminished sound. Or the dominant sound. Straight down.
That?
Exactly. So you'd be going like, I think on the live solo, there's in there somewhere on the Extreme Volume 1 or something like that. There's that actual type thing going on where. I forget where it is, but anyway, you can see how the shape, instead of doing the single on this, you actually get the bar note, so you get an actual higher note going in there, which is kind of cool. You grab that high note.
Okay.
Actually, so that's one thing, and
any like pentatonic shapes that had string skipping stuff or anything like that, or you know, weird ways of playing that stuff, or
for pentatonics, I think. I mean, a lot of the stuff I was doing with pentatonics was either it would be just 2 note per string and then doing octaves. You know what I mean? Say you were doing, you know what I mean? Getting more arpeggios that way, like major 7 sounds. Oh. Yeah, it's more like a Sean Lane type thing. When I saw him play a long time ago, must have been like 6 years ago.
Have you seen his instructional videos?
No, is it pretty good?
Slightly.
Yeah, I can imagine. The guy,
Powerhouse, man.
I sat in a room with the guy and fucking hung out at his house one day, and it was just like, damn, dude, where the hell
yeah,
you
his
from?
diminished.
He
know,
gets
it's like
this, that shit.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
He does those raking type. Just crazy nonsense shit that would give you tendonitis in fucking, 5 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta have hands like Gilbert.
Exactly.
Fingers that are 10 inches long.
But anyway, so that's for the 2-note string skipping. That's about the extent we kind of took it. I mean, we just made more like songs out of it. You know what I mean? Use it in riffs. Like I said, that one exercise where it's doing the shape moving around. And then obviously the ones that actually just have the add-ons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really practice this stuff too much anymore, but I saw that, I was like, oh, Boulliet, he's giving lessons. Get all the cool Racer X stuff.
Let's see. Here's actually a good one on this. The minor 7.
Yeah.
Right. One thing I started doing was trying to figure out different places where the notes appear. Like this note appears right here. And the trick is to be able to kind of do this on your own. You know what I mean? Kind of like, it's cool taking a lesson from anybody really and learning. Okay, well I got this shape and stuff. But the trick is to try to expand it further. So one thing that I look for a lot of times when I do string skipping is trying to see where these other notes fall, so you can actually put more into it. And this E falls right here, so once again you can start doing the barring with your pinky, which is actually giving you the same as.
Yeah.
So you can start doing stuff like.
You going to the C or the F?
Actually, I was going to the F. And taking that one further, then you can grab the high A with your finger too. Exactly. So you can do the interval skips where it's going like. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of weird at first to get that barring thing down.
Greg Howe seems to do a lot of that stuff. Like bars.
Yeah, barring type things. So that's one thing that possibly adding that in there instead of just the straight, straight there, you can have the, or even actually, trying to think of tapping on what I was doing, a flat 5 in there is really good too when you're doing. Exactly. And then taking that one further, you can go the octave on this.
How you do?
Okay, so you could go.
Okay, I see. I just, yeah. Okay.
So the octave, I mean, obviously when you get down here, like I said, you're going to have extremely big hands to do anything below
Let's
like
keep
the 12th
it
fret.
12th fret on up. Alright. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Let me think. I recall doing something in A where you could skip 3 notes here.
Is that?
You know what I mean?
What are you tapping and sliding to there?
The 9th to the 3rd, or the 2nd, 3rd.
Okay.
And that one's kind of like just expanding, showing ways you can expand with this.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that starts adding on, making it a bit more, instead of the straight just, you actually start getting more. You could actually go down here, move it to here, and move into that riff. That way it'd give you the extended powerhouse, string skipping riff.
Do you have a tape player that works here?
Yeah.
There's on your second live album, Sold on the Loose. You play this one. It sounds like a sweep lick. It's way cool.
I had to go back and review all these tapes.
You didn't graduate from MI, did you?
I only went 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, and I pulled out. There's 2 reasons for this too. I mean, one, I really dug the school, and like you say, I would have really liked to get into the jazz side of it, but I got Paul from my private counselor.
Yeah.
And I saw him there, and it was like, oh, dude, you're the one. I mean, I paid how much money to get in here. I want you for my private teacher, and I ended up getting him. And then within, I don't know, a few weeks already, I started, getting things down, and then when he called up and said, hey, you want to come down and jam, I said, well, fuck yeah, you know, I'll come
So
down
you only
and play.
went for 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks, maybe 2 or 3
Jeez.
weeks. And then, but what did I need anything for? Because I was going for rock, and then I was in a band with, you know, the best rock teacher there. So it was like,
Yeah.
you know, why bother? But, it was cool. I would have liked it to, you know, to have stayed and worked on other stuff.
Wait a second. Don't tell me it didn't tape. I think...
At the very beginning.
Is that the new Scream demo?
Where's that? That right there?
Yeah, there we go. That's Brutality, a death metal band from Florida. Okay, right after... right here. That's you. What is that? You remember it?
Yeah, that's actually something you now know.
Okay.
Think about it. What's it sound like when you hear it? What does it sound like it's doing?
Skipping.
Exactly. But listen to the idea of it. You got what's the two notes it's pivoting between? You can I know you can figure this stuff out. It's a matter of just of how you approach
just
it.
sitting down and doing it too.
It's like
You're borrowing something there, aren't you?
okay, so you got. Let's see, what key would that be in? Let's see, what would it be? That's the general shape is
B
is
minor.
That B minor going.
So you're borrowing the F sharp there and the G.
What's that? Pardon me one more time.
Yeah, you're borrowing the F sharp there and getting the G here on that low.
Let's see. So it's just going between these two notes in this shape.
Somewhat.
And there's a little turnaround lick in there. Let me see. Actually, I should have remembered.
That's a cool lick, dude.
It fits real well in there.
Yeah, it's like bang.
Okay, so it does kind of like a. Move it down here for a second. Yeah. Okay, so it's actually just doing a. Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's just that
Slowly for the.
Let's do it in A for right
Okay.
now, just so it's for ease of doing it.
Alright. Are you picking everything?
No, actually, no. I just picked the. So I just picked the first note in the interval exactly. Exactly. And then the turnaround in it to get the right there, right? It's just a straight so you just do a let's see. Yeah. actually, no. It's just a straight. Exactly.
Okay.
That's it. Do la la la.
So,
You know.
all right, you're kind of going. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I
you got it going on. You know what's going on there. But yeah, see, those riffs can sound different depending on how rhythmically you use them too. You know what I mean? Because that one's more rhythmic. Loud, loud.
Yeah, the accents are way cool.
So, and that was playing more off what the drums were doing. You know, Travis was. That's kind of his riffing too. His riffing is that row, 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 you know, double kick type riffing, and just followed him. But you see how that one riff, you don't think because
disguised a little.
Yeah, it's the way you really approach how you play him. You know, it's. But anyway, that's basically all it is. It's just doing that type of interval type thing, you know what I mean? And that's one thing to look for is when you're trying to build these on your own, you know what I mean? Try to come up with shapes of your own, is trying to see how you can, like, that was one thing when I discovered by able to roll the pinky and stuff, barring when you're doing it, you could grab higher intervals and it would sound, you know, instead of sounding this wide, the actual lick would sound this wide from low note to high note was kind of like the thing we were going for, you know, how big of intervals can we get, you know? Because let's face it, you know, you get intervals, huge intervals, it sounds pretty out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
How about, I don't know, cool blues licks, like anything?
Well, I can still
stuff that's really.
Let's see, blues riffs.
Do you guys kind of shred on this new Scream album, or what?
I can play you some of it. You know, before you leave, I'll play you a little bit of it. It's different. It's real different. We got a really good singer that's fucking pretty much a powerhouse. He plays every instrument, so it's really cool that to write with. But let's see. Other things. Just before we get out of the string skipping, you know all the major and minor string skipping stuff like the major 7.
Not really.
That's a really hard one. Paul used to, that's how you harmonize the minor 7. Like if you were doing a harmony to this. Let's see, what would the harmony be on that? To move it into a. So the harmony would have to be. So play the. Can you play this just straight? So that would be your harmonizing. That would be your harmonizing type riff for that. It's just good to know if you're gonna be using these at all.
Oh.
And that would obviously be.
Yeah, that is a stretch. Whoop.
And maybe on stuff like that, I played with a guy named Chris Arvin for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what's his story? What's he doing these days?
Yeah, he just, I don't know, man. He tripped out or something. He's got a computer studio now where it's all the computer, digital music and stuff. He got into raves and shit like that, doing house music and stuff. But talk about a guy who is just fucking doing some really cool
Dude,
shit.
yeah, it's like, I got a hold of an open counseling he did at MI a few years back. And it's like, shit, he definitely could replace Paul Gilbert and then some, because I know he played with you guys after Gilbert left.
He wasn't fucking around, there's no doubt about it. But one thing,
I mean, does he still play a lot, or? You really don't even talk to him anymore.
I see him every now and then when we go up to San Francisco or something, you know, to play up there. He'll be at
he
the
lives
show.
up there now?
He used to live up there, and he moved down to do the gig. But a lot of things he would do was do these intervals and slide the notes. You know what I mean? Instead of having to do the big stretch.
Yeah.
And it gave it more of a fluid sound. I'm trying to think. There was one really good thing that he did that was worth showing. What would that have been? I have to think about it for a second. But I know one thing to think about also is sliding the notes.
Okay.
But like I say, with a lot of those riffs, yeah, these are just ideas to get you to, you know, kind of move on and build up and put some stuff into it yourself. Sliding the notes and obviously the hammer-ons, you know, with to get the extra note with the finger and sliding that stuff too. Yeah. But basically, that's about it for all the string skipping stuff. I mean, we used that one shape to death. As you can see, this one shape, when we found it, was like the revolution for us. We were like, I remember sitting in the counseling when we were working with it one day, and it was like, damn, that thing sounds fucking, that's the riff of the 90s right there, the 80s at least for us right there. But,
did it to death. Cool.
The only other thing I do that sounds sort of like that sometimes is where I'll do the dominant shapes, arpeggio type stuff, and oops.
Cool. Added broken string. Press that red button.
It's almost blues riff, really, when you think about it, because this shape sounds kind of bluesy, but taken like for over a G, you got
where do you start up?
So it's sliding from F
to
G. Exactly, so you got, and I tag on at the end so sort of pushing.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that for Keith Wise Open Counseling and say, he'll go, oh, so soulful. Alright. Basically just a G, a dominant, going up. Okay.
And those actually sound really cool because it's almost a fluid sound, you know, it's not so much like a string skipping thing, it's more of a fluid, you know. Let's see, what else here? Gotta start opening up the bag of tricks.
I'm just curious how many students have called you, prospective people?
About 9 so far.
What were you gonna work? You pretty much just
It depends, a lot of
ask
people...
them what they want to do? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I really don't have, I'm not really a strict regiment kind of person, you know what I mean? I'm just more laid back. It's like, hey, you know, I can show you this, show you that, you know? I mean, if you got questions and things you're curious about.
How about, you guys always talked about how Heart of a Lion, that solo, was like really, really tough to do.
Yeah.
Remember it? What was tough, what exactly did you do that?
I just remember that there was, diminished string skipping and harmony, and anytime you start doing that, I don't know why we constructed these solos to be so hard, because they were pretty hard to play, but just doing the you know, that type of stuff, anytime where you're, it's got that kind of diminished string skipping. It's at least hard for me. For Paul, I don't know if it was that hard, but for me, this shape is reaching for me.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, yeah, his hands are huge, man. It's like, because on his video, he does that. His first video, he does that one where he's 6 string to 4 string to first. And it's like,
yeah.
he's like, it's like, forget it, dude.
And he's smiling and drinking a Coke at the same time.
Yes.
You know.
But that's pretty much the big stuff in that song was the diminished string skipping stuff.
Yeah, there was that. That one's really tough. Oh, I know a good one that was.
Any Racer X highlights here? That's what we're at.
This is actually not a Racer X highlight, but this is actually really cool. This is a string skipping thing I came up with. This was like the last thing I came up with when I was doing it, and it almost gives you an echo effect of your notes. Let me see if I can remember how it went. Yeah. So it'd be okay, so what's going on with this actually is you're actually skipping a string to grab the next note of the arpeggio. So what we're working off of is once again, it's a dominant sound, and you got so from E. That's a skip right there. Okay, and then you just follow up the shape with that.
Whoop.
So you got.
So what arpeggio shape are you doing here, baby?
E dominant.
Okay.
You see how you got the. Then.
Whoop.
And then. On a B string. Oh, you're on a B string to pull off. And then. So in the whole thing, it's like. And that one actually sounds cool phrasing wise because you can see it's rhythmic. You know what I mean? So it's good for phrasing. Anything that has rhythmic consistency like that is really useful.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see that rhythm is where it's at. More so than a lot of just a blast of 30-second notes, you know.
Exactly, having things that can be.
Because that, like that, with that race, that out of the on the loose, it's like the accents.
Is what makes it.
Yeah, totally awesome.
It makes it powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. So I try to do things that are more rhythmic like that, you know.
Yeah. That's
see.
cool.
What's some other stuff?
Any wild sweeps?
Boy, any wild sweeps?
Or tapping, or?
I really didn't carry the tapping thing too far, because by the time I was getting into like really crazy playing, it was almost all picking stuff, you know what I mean? Like picking and hammer-on stuff instead of tapping. My extent of it was either just add-on stuff, or like I say, when I was doing these type of things, you know, I'd go for a bluesier sound just by adding the flat 5. Some things I did do, I was doing more 2-note per string stuff, really. That was my gig, because I wasn't really comfortable doing 3-note string picking, even though I had to do a considerable amount of it. I was always trying to focus more around doing 2-note per string stuff and making it sound almost 3-note per string. But I did a lot of sliding and stuff like that too. I know one shape that works well phrasing wise, like say we're in G again, is doing a you know what I mean, where you're sliding blues scale type stuff. So you got. You get that flat 5 in there too, so it's. Yeah, and then slide. You can, slide. Just tag however you exactly. Go into anything from there,
Okay.
Let's see. So I use that a lot, and obviously the thing that's cool about these shapes is you can do octaves forever, Let's see what it'd be. Exactly, you know what I'm saying right there? Yeah, all that. And that was one thing that a thing that I did a lot actually was doing octaves of stuff, because it gives it a long flow, you know what I mean? It's more like horn type stuff, because I was listening to more horn lines where, not so far out where I was doing jazz stuff, what is it? But just more like how they were getting the fluidity of like, you know what I mean, where it's more like saxophone is actually what it is, where you see how they climb the arpeggio types. What was it? And that's where I was getting the ideas for sliding up when I was doing these type of. What else would there be? Let's see, digging back a few. Actually,
anything wild that you've come up with recently that cool licks?
Most of the stuff I do now is I really don't riff that. I just
pretty
play
much blues based.
It's kind of blues based. I just play really hard, yeah. Mm-hmm. Really hard, aggressive playing, but more single note stuff, like Billy Gibbons plays. You can play. You know what I mean? Just getting those kind of, just the attitude and the feel, making a few notes actually work for it. But most of the stuff we're doing now, I'm doing almost all rhythm. And doing like really weird open tuning stuff. So
oh yeah.
I do a lot of open tunings. Actually getting fluid with about 6 now, so.
Cool.
Let's see. Actually, this is kind of a cool one. For like a blues-based shape, this is more of like a pentatonic blues scale stuff, but it actually works really good. I think on the live album I use it on a solo, the Rocket solo or something like that.
The Rocket solo.
Yeah. It's got
all right.
For what that's worth.
Whatever the hell that is.
It's like an E. I just thought it was good because it moves in a different motion than you're used to actually doing. It's a pentatonic blues scale going.
Oh. Then what?
Then you start here. Yeah, I would shift. I'd use my 2 fingers to shift in. And then. straight blues. Let's see. Yeah, rhythmically it phrases on that note there. I guess the
Rocket. Oh yeah, rocket. You
Yeah,
said
I mean,
rocket like I was thinking
yeah.
R-O-C-K-E-T. Rocket.
Yeah.
A missile, whatever.
Yeah.
Rock. Yeah, that's,
yeah, you know what I'm saying,
What the
yeah.
fuck?
But anyway, I thought that was cool because I always look for the odd shapes like that move
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's definitely a different way of playing that.
and it phrases really good.
What? The battery? What's wrong? Let's see it here in a second.
Fade to black.
Yes. Oh well. Well, no more videotape.
You can get the calendar on there.
I did. Now the second one. You don't lotion. No, the guy from TNT is what I'm thinking.